Let's be honest, if you're a Christian in a relationship, you've probably wondered, is kissing really okay or is it crossing the boundaries? Hey, beautiful people, today we're going to be talking about how far is too far. Should kissing be allowed in a Christian dating relationship? Let's talk about it honestly. The real question is not is kissing a sin, but what it leads you to do. Because the truth is, kissing may not seem a big deal at first, but for some people, it begins to awaken emotions and feelings that become difficult to control. And when something begins to awaken emotions that become difficult to control, it becomes difficult to keep clear boundaries. Now, how far is too far? What do we mean by when something has gone too far? Too far is anything that stirs up emotions in you that becomes very difficult to control. Too far is anything that pulls your heart away from purity. And too far can anything that makes it harder for you to honor God in your relationship. How far is too far? One thing I learned earlier is it is far easier to set boundaries than to repair broken boundaries. What do I mean? You set boundaries on how far you intend to go in your relationship, so that when you are progressively moving towards breaking these boundaries, you will be able to caution yourself. But once boundaries have been broken, it becomes difficult to maintain the boundaries you already set. So it is by far easier to set clear boundaries than to mend broken boundaries. Because most times people don't just fall suddenly, they move gradually into that point where they break the boundaries they intended to keep. It's a gradual movement. People don't just fall into breaking the boundaries they set for themselves. And while we've been talking about boundaries like kissing, there is actually a deeper boundary that defines a Christian relationship, and that boundary is sex. The Bible says that marriage is honorable, the bed undefiled. So when God says marriage is honorable, the bed undefiled, do you think God is being wicked? Do you think God is wicked for putting desires in you and still restricting you under the guise of not being married yet? Do you think God is being unfair? No. God is not being wicked. He's actually preparing you for something that would last. The Bible clearly states that sex is designed for marriage, not because desire is wrong, but timing is very important in God's design. Sex is not just a physical act. It creates a level of spiritual, emotional, and covenant connection that God intends to be protected within marriage. So, God's boundaries are not about restriction, they are about protection. So, the goal of a Christian dating is not to see how close you can get to sin, it is to see how far you can remain committed to purity. Because what you practice during dating becomes the pattern you carry into marriage. And God is not trying to take something from you, He's trying to prepare you for something that lasts. But I'd like to hear from you. Do you think kissing should be allowed in Christian dating, or it should be avoided completely? And if this conversation is making you think deeper about relationships, boundaries, desire, then there's something more important you need to understand. Because at the end of the day, every believer will face this question. When God's will and your desires are pulling in different directions, who do you choose? I actually talked about this explicitly in another video titled Who Do I Choose?, where we look at what it means to choose God's will over fleshly desires. I'll leave the link somewhere here. I think you should watch it next.